What if everything you've been fighting through is finally about to shift? What if all the pain, setbacks, and silent battles have been leading to a single turning point just ahead? Would you recognize the signs if life was trying to tell you the storm is almost over? Welcome to Stoic Bridge, the bridge between ancient wisdom and modern life, guiding you through life's storms with calm and resilience. There are moments when life feels like an endless uphill battle. You push forward, you endure, you doubt, but what most people don't realize is that sometimes the breakthrough doesn't come with a loud announcement. It arrives silently, right after your hardest days. Right when you're tempted to give up, the universe starts whispering that change is near. There are signs, subtle but powerful signals. They don't just appear by accident. They are life's way of saying, hold on, something better is coming. If you've been struggling, questioning whether things will ever turn around, you're not alone, and you're not off track. You may be closer than you think to a transformation. And today I'm going to walk you through 8 powerful signs that your struggles are finally reaching their end. Even if you notice just one of them, take it seriously. It's not a coincidence. It's confirmation. Your breakthrough is on the horizon. So take a deep breath. And let's begin uncovering the signs that your life is about to change for the better. 1. You feel an unexplainable calmness. Imagine standing in the middle of a fierce storm, rain pounding down, wind howling, the sky dark with chaos, and suddenly everything stops. The wind stills, the clouds part, and in that silence, something inside you breathes for the first time in what feels like forever. That's the kind of calm we're talking about. You've been carrying the world on your shoulders. Every day has felt like a battle, a war between you and everything life could throw at you. You've wrestled with exhaustion, uncertainty, and pain. You've stared at the ceiling night after night, asking the same question over and over. Will this ever end? And then something shifts. Not the world outside, not yet. The problems are still there. The challenges haven't vanished. But your heart, your spirit, they begin to quiet down. There's a strange peace that washes over you. It doesn't make logical sense, but it's real, like an inner voice, soft and steady, whispering, you're going to be okay. And for the first time in a long time, you believe it. This isn't false hope. This isn't wishful thinking. This is your inner world realigning with truth before your outer world catches up. Your subconscious knows something is shifting. The tension in your chest begins to loosen. Your mind is no longer in survival mode. Your nervous system calms, and the constant edge of fear fades away. You're no longer a prisoner of panic. You realize the door was never locked, and suddenly the weight begins to lift. Not because the fight is over yet, but because the fear has lost its grip on you. When you stop feeding your pain with attention, when you stop letting the storm inside control how you feel, the clouds begin to clear. This moment, this quiet calm, is not just comfort, it's confirmation. It's a powerful sign that your struggle is loosening its hold, and that something greater is just ahead. So, if you've been feeling that strange, quiet peace lately, don't brush it off. It's your soul knowing something your mind hasn't caught up to yet. And when your soul knows, you're already walking the path to freedom. Let's explore the next sign, one that shows the universe is no longer working against you, but finally aligning in your favor. 2. Things that used to go wrong start going right. Have you ever felt like life had a personal grudge against you? Like, no matter how much effort you poured in, no matter how hard you tried, everything just seemed to fall apart anyway? It's as if the universe had placed invisible hands that kept pulling you backward, just when you thought you were moving ahead. You missed that dream job by a hair. Plans unraveled at the worst possible moment. Every win was followed by a loss. You kept getting close, but never quite breaking through. Over time, that weight begins to wear you down. You start calling it bad luck, a cruel cycle. You convince yourself this is just how life works for you. But then, something shifts. It starts small, so small you might miss it at first. You hit a green light when you're running late. You find the last item on the shelf just before the store closes. A stranger offers help without being asked. You receive a call about an opportunity you thought was long gone. One by one, the tiny details begin to fall into place. The moments that used to always go sideways start landing exactly where they need to. At first, your mind questions it. Is this just coincidence? Am I imagining this shift? But deep within, you feel it. The gears of resistance that once ground against you are beginning to loosen. Doors that were firmly shut are quietly unlocking. The energy that once pushed against you is now carrying you forward. This isn't just luck. This is alignment. This is the universe meeting your effort halfway. When life begins to flow more easily, when things that once felt impossible start unfolding naturally, it's a powerful sign. A sign that your struggle is not just easing, it's nearing its end. The blocks in your path, they're clearing. The friction, it's fading. Because now, finally, the timing is right, and the current is flowing with you, not against you. So if you've started noticing this quiet shift, if your life is beginning to click into place in subtle ways, don't dismiss it. The tide is turning. Your efforts, your resilience, your pain, they weren't wasted. You had to walk through the shadows to recognize the beauty of the light. And now, that light is breaking through. Let's move to the next sign. The moment when you begin to lose interest in what no longer nourishes your soul. 3. You start losing interest in things that drain you. Picture this. There was once a time when certain people, routines, or habits felt like they were stitched into the fabric of your life. You couldn't imagine your day without them, even though they quietly chipped away at your energy. That friend who only called when they needed something. That relationship that left you more empty than fulfilled. Those endless hours of scrolling, the binge watching, the habits that offered comfort, but no real growth. You knew they weren't good for you. You knew they kept you stuck, but they were familiar, and sometimes familiarity feels safer than freedom. But then, without warning, something changes. The spark is gone. The things that used to excite you now feel dull. The conversations that once kept you entertained now sound hollow. The toxic people you used to tolerate, now just being around them feels like noise you can't unhear. The distractions you once reached for now feel like clutter in your soul. And the most surprising part? You don't have to force yourself to walk away. You simply lose interest. The connection fades. The craving dissolves. This isn't laziness. It's not burnout. It's transformation. It's your soul preparing for elevation. It's your inner world making space for something far more meaningful to arrive. When your struggles are about to end, life has a way of peeling back the layers, removing what no longer serves you. The distractions, the emotional leeches, the comfort zones, they all begin to lose their grip. And as you release them, something sacred begins to open up. You may feel uneasy. You might even feel lonely. Because shedding your old life doesn't always come with immediate replacements. But this is not a loss. It's a clearing. It's your higher self stepping forward and saying, we don't need this anymore. And when you let go, truly let go, you begin to rise. You become lighter, more focused, more aligned with the life you were always meant to live. So if lately you felt distant from what used to drain you, if old habits, toxic people, or empty distractions no longer hold your attention, take that as a sign. Your struggles are making room for peace. And peace, is always the beginning of something better. Now let's look at another powerful sign, one that shows life is testing you, not to break you, but to prepare you for what's next. 4. You feel tested one last time. It often happens right when the clouds begin to part, just when the light finally starts breaking through. You breathe a little easier, hope starts to return. You think, maybe this is it, maybe the worst is behind me, and then life throws a curveball that knocks the wind out of you. An old problem you thought you buried suddenly resurfaces. A betrayal hits from someone you trusted. A door that seemed open slams shut without warning. You get blindsided by something that makes you question everything. It feels unfair. You ask yourself, why now? Why when I was finally starting to feel okay? It's like the universe is playing a cruel trick, dangling peace in front of you, only to snatch it away. But here's the deeper truth. This isn't punishment. It's a final test. Think of it like this. In every great story, the hero faces a defining moment right before the breakthrough. In every game, there's a boss battle before the next level. And in life, before we rise, we're tested. This is the universe's way of asking, are you really ready? Have you grown? Or will you repeat the same patterns? Will you crumble under pressure? Or will you prove that your inner foundation is now unshakable? These tests aren't designed to destroy you. They're meant to reveal you, to strip away the doubt, force you to stand tall in what you've learned, not in theory, but in action. And when you recognize this moment for what it is, a final gatekeeper to your next chapter, you gain power over it. You stop reacting, you breathe, you stay grounded, and you push through. And what happens next is nothing short of powerful. The storm settles, the weight lifts, and you cross into the life you've been fighting to build, not just surviving it, but finally living it. So if you're feeling tested right now, if it feels like one last hit before the dawn, don't break. This is your proving ground, your final initiation. And on the other side of this moment is the version of you that no longer lives in struggle, but walks fully into strength. Next, let's uncover another powerful sign. Those quiet, repeating messages from the universe that refuse to be ignored. 5. You start seeing repeating signs. At first, it feels like nothing. A small flicker in the background of your day. You glance at the clock, 11:11. Later, it's 2:22. Then 7:77 on a receipt. You brush it off, a coincidence maybe, but then it keeps happening. The same numbers, the same phrases from different people, the same message echoing from unexpected places. You hear someone mention breakthrough right after you've been thinking about giving up. You stumble across a video titled New Beginnings without even searching for it. You hear a song that speaks to your exact emotions, as if the lyrics were written for this chapter of your life. And slowly, it becomes clear. This isn't random. This isn't just your mind playing tricks on you. It's a whisper, soft but persistent, from something greater than yourself. When you're on the verge of a transformation, the universe begins to speak louder. Not with thunder, but with repetition. With nudges, with signs that ask, are you paying attention yet? These signs are not just spiritual fluff. They are alignment. They are synchronicity. They are your subconscious tuning in, finally clear enough to notice what it once filtered out. It might be a stranger offering advice you didn't know you needed, a quote that feels like it was meant only for you, a symbol, a word, an idea that keeps showing up over and over again, pointing you in one clear direction: forward. The challenge is, most people ignore these signs. They dismiss them. They doubt them. They convince themselves it's all random. But it's not. If you've been noticing these repeating signals, if you feel like life is nudging you gently over and over, lean in, pause, and listen, because these signs are markers on your path. They're not here to confuse you. They're here to guide you, to encourage you to keep going even when the road ahead is still unclear. The change you've been waiting for, it's closer than you think, but only if you have the courage to trust the signs, to follow the whispers, and to believe in what you feel more than what you see. So if the universe has been sending you messages, in numbers, in people, in patterns, don't ignore them. Your breakthrough is approaching. Your soul already knows the way. Next, let's look at another undeniable sign. When the people in your life start shifting, making room for the version of you that's about to rise. 6, the people around you start changing sometimes. The first sign that you're outgrowing your old life is when your circle starts to shift. You can feel it, a quiet distance forming between you and the people who once felt like home. The conversations that used to flow now feel forced. The energy feels off. Something's different. And maybe deep down you know, this change didn't come from them, it started with you. You notice that some people, the ones who only showed up when they needed something, the ones who drained your energy, who never truly supported your growth, are slowly fading from your life. At first, this can feel personal, painful even. You might ask, why now? Why are people pulling away when I'm finally trying to move forward? But here's the truth. This isn't a punishment. It's a clearing. When your struggles are nearing their end, when you're stepping into a new version of yourself, life begins to remove anything and anyone that no longer aligns with where you're headed. Maybe those people were only meant to walk with you for a certain part of the journey. Maybe they were never meant to see the next chapter. Or maybe they can feel your energy changing, and on some level, they know they can't hold you back anymore. But here's the beautiful part. As old connections fade, new ones begin to bloom. Suddenly, you find yourself crossing paths with people who speak life into you. People who challenge you to grow, who inspire you to become more, who show up not to take, but to support, uplift, and stand beside you. Mentors, friends, even strangers start showing up with exactly the right words at exactly the right time. It's not a coincidence. It's a divine rearrangement. Life is aligning your outer world to match the growth happening within you. And yes, this shift can feel uncomfortable. It may feel lonely at first, but don't fight it. Let the ones who need to leave go, and welcome those who are stepping in with clean energy and genuine intention. This is not rejection. This is redirection. If you've noticed your relationships changing, if certain people are falling away while new ones are forming, pay attention. It's a sign. Your struggles are ending. Your life is making space for people who match the light you're stepping into. And now let's look at another powerful moment, when a sudden, undeniable burst of motivation rises from within you and changes everything. 7. You feel a sudden burst of motivation. It begins like a spark, a quiet flicker of energy rising from somewhere deep within you. You may not even know why, but suddenly something clicks. For weeks, maybe months, maybe even years, you felt stuck. Like you've been walking through mud, carrying the weight of exhaustion, doubt, and discouragement. You've whispered to yourself countless times, "I'll start tomorrow." But tomorrow never felt ready. The days blended together. Every step forward felt like something was pulling you back. You felt uninspired, drained, almost numb. And then out of nowhere, something shifts. You wake up one morning with energy you can't explain. Not caffeine-fueled, not forced, but raw, real drive. A fire in your chest, an urgency in your bones. You feel the sudden need to move, to act, to finally start the thing you've been putting off. Could be something simple, clearing out your space, cleaning, deleting old clutter, or something big, applying for that job, launching that project, finally chasing the dream that once terrified you. You start waking up earlier, working with focus, making decisions with clarity you haven't felt in years. That hesitation, gone. The excuses, irrelevant. The doubts, silenced. This isn't random. This is a breakthrough. This is the universe, your higher self, your soul, all coming into alignment and shouting in unison, it's time. The heaviness you've carried, fear, doubt, stagnation, it's beginning to lift, and what rises in its place is momentum. But here's the crucial part. When this energy hits, you must act. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Too many people feel this burst, this rare surge of clarity and motivation, and then ignore it. They let it fade. They return to the comfort of delay. Don't be one of them. This is your window. This is your push. This is life saying, let's go. So if you've recently felt that sudden pull to change, to move, to finally act, don't question it. Embrace it. Ride the wave while it's rising. Because that energy you're feeling, it's not just motivation. It's the sign you've been waiting for, the one that tells you your old life is ending and your new one has just begun. And now let's uncover the final and most powerful sign, the moment when you finally believe in yourself again. 8, you start believing in yourself again. There's a moment, quiet but life-altering, when you catch your own reflection and realize you've come back to yourself. Not the version that was beaten down by life, not the one that hesitated, doubted, or shrank to make others comfortable, but the version that remembers who they are. You didn't always feel this way. There was a time when your confidence was buried under layers of doubt. You questioned every decision. You second-guessed your instincts. You waited for someone else, a boss, a partner, a friend, to tell you that you were worthy. You feared making the wrong move, so you made no move at all. Maybe life had knocked you down so many times that struggle started to feel like your identity. You began to believe that success just wasn't meant for you, that no matter how hard you tried, you would always fall short. But then, something changes. It doesn't come with fireworks. It comes with a quiet, powerful shift in your mindset. One day, you simply decide, I'm done. You're done waiting for permission, done shrinking to fit in, done seeking approval from people who don't even understand the path you're walking. And in that decision, you rise. You look in the mirror and see someone capable, strong, worthy, ready. That moment, when you finally believe in yourself again, is one of the clearest signs that your struggle is ending. Because the battle was never just against your circumstances, it was against the voice inside that kept whispering, you're not enough. Now that voice is silent, and your true voice, the one rooted in purpose, courage, and merit, is finally speaking up. When you believe in yourself, everything changes. You stop hesitating, you stop making excuses, you stop waiting for the right time, you become the right time. You no longer see yourself as a victim of life. You step into the role of the creator. You take ownership of your future. And that single belief that you are enough right now is powerful enough to shift the entire direction of your life. Your fears lose their grip, your past loses its weight, and your future begins to open like a door that was waiting for you all along. This is your moment. Your comeback has already begun. And the best part, nothing can stop you now. And now, as we bring this journey to a close, take a quiet moment to reflect. If you've recognized even one of these signs in your life, a shift in your energy, a sudden peace, a burst of motivation, or the quiet fading of what no longer serves you, then congratulations, you are not lost, you are not stuck, you are transitioning. These aren't coincidences, they are signals. Clear, powerful signs that the chapter of struggle is beginning to close, and a new one, full of clarity, strength, and freedom, is unfolding before you. This is your moment. You've walked through doubt, you've stood in darkness, and now you're standing at the edge of something greater. So stay patient, stay grounded, and most of all, trust the process. Because transformation rarely arrives with noise. It comes with quiet knowing and the courage to keep going even when the finish line is still out of sight. Today we explored 8 signs that your struggles are about to end. That mysterious calm that begins to settle inside you. The shift when things start going right. The moment you lose interest in what drains your soul. The final test life throws before your breakthrough. The repeating signs that won't let you look away. The changing circle of people around you. The sudden fire that urges you to act. And the most powerful of all, when you finally believe in yourself again. Each one is a whisper. Together, they form a message. You're ready. So if this message spoke to something deep within you, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that like button. Share this video with someone who might be quietly facing their own turning point. Subscribe and tap the bell so you won't miss what's coming next. And now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these signs have you seen in your life lately? Drop it in the comments below. Let's talk. Let's grow together.